What's up, Anchor peeps and Big Brother fans? I am Anchorpete, and I'm here with my lovely wife, Shari T. And we are here to talk about Big Brother. We watched this week episode 30 and episode 31 of Big Brother Season 22 AllStars. And so we're here right now to talk about it. Now, we don't do our live shows anymore on YouTube, but we record them real quickly on my computer, and then we don't edit them, and we just put them up on YouTube right away. So it's kind of quick and dirty, but we're getting right to the point. So how are you doing tonight?
I'm good.
Yeah. Speaking of quick and dirty, look right behind Shari. That is our kitchen window, and it is busted. Did you know that so I'll tell you a little embarrassing thing about Anchorpete. I actually don't cut my own grass. I know that's kind of a shame, right, for a middle class guy. I don't cut my own grass. I'm pretty bad at it these days. So we have a guy come, and he's pretty bad at it too, I guess.
I was going to say, who else is bad at it?
Yeah.
Our paid, hired help.
He's broken things like twice, and this is the second time he's done it. He's actually hit a rock up into our window and broke our window. And you'll see that little makeshift garbage bag flap a little bit because there is a cold front coming tonight.
Yeah, it's perfect for the Halloween season to have a broken window and cold winds coming in and no way to close it.
Yeah. So there's people coming to fix it tomorrow. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know why there is this random garbage bag behind my wife over here. And so that's a little look.
Just ignore it.
Yes. That's a little look behind the curtain. And I'm sure people that are like friends and family are definitely sitting there judging. Thank you so much. But as for Big Brother fans, that's a look behind the curtain. And now we're ready to talk about our favorite reality TV show.
Yeah.
Is it our favorite, like, over The Bachelorette?
Yes.
We're not going to cover that shit on this show.
I wouldn't watch The Bachelorette for 3 nights a week. Ever. Right? So.
God. And it's like 2 hours each time.
Yeah, God, no. Even if it was an hour each time, I wouldn't watch it 3 nights a week. Only Big Brother. I only do it for you.
Oh, man. Yeah. And so we kind of toyed around with the idea of watching The Bachelorette, but no. It's like a certain level we don't want to go to.
No, we watched The Bachelorette.
Right, but to cover it on here.
We're not going to review it.
We only cover the most sophisticated of reality shows, okay? Big Brother, where they have competitions where they have their own comic book cover, right? That's what happened this week for the Power of Veto.
I loved it. I love the comic book competition.
Yeah. Did you know, guys, that it started now? They're starting to cast for next season already. You can go to their website and look it up, and that I want to be on that shit so I can have my own Anchorpete comic book.
It would be a dream come true for you.
Yes. I don't know what they would do for my superhero, but there were some pretty cool superheroes. Do you remember any of them, Shari?
Real quick though, I always want Pete to be on Big Brother too because I don't expect him to win, but I think he could win maybe fan favorite.
Yeah, I'll win both those things, man. Fan favorite and win the whole damn thing.
I'm just trying not to put pressure on you.
$500,000, then it's taxed $250,000.
I'm trying not to put too much pressure on you.
We'll get someone better to cut our freaking grass then if I won Big Brother. So anyway, do you remember any of the comic book covers?
I remember Janelle being Bombshell and how
she's Bombshell
and how irked Nicole was about it. Nicole was jealous.
Yeah,
Nicole's like jealous of Janelle, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's been going on all season, and it's kind of this time it's funny. And I think the producers actually tried to mess with her by giving her a kind of lame one where she was Sloppy's like the cereal. What was she?
Yeah, that was like her tard that she wore this year. It was like that cereal tard, right? And it was like Sloppy's cereal, and they just made her Serial Killer. That was her superhero cover.
Right, and it's not bad or anything, but she's jealous because maybe she wants to be the Bombshell, and I'm sorry, it's Janelle.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I go on the Big Brother Reddit now, and I see updates, and one of the posts was pretty mean about Nicole. It was like when your personality or your character trait is a costume that you wore. So every other person, when they make these Big Brother covers, it's reflective of their personality, right? Represents their personality.
I think it generally is supposed to be.
Yeah, but for hers, it was just her, her cereal tard that she wore.
Yeah.
So sorry, Nicole. But as far as the costumes and not the costumes, the covers, I actually liked Memphis a lot, even though I don't like Memphis a lot. But I just like that he had a giant fist. There's a lot of superheroes that have big golden fists like that.
Doesn't your thumbnail for this particular episode have a fist? Aren't you fist?
Oh, I'm fisting something, definitely. The mask, by the way, that's another embarrassing thing. I'm wearing my little kid's Ninja Turtle mask, and it's this big on my face. So it's just a lot of embarrassing shit tonight. But Nicole A, who we're big fans of, she was the pod master because she's like a
Mhm.
podcaster,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah, that's cool.
And Keisha was the birthday girl, and that's kind of a deep cut, but I never even saw her season.
I don't know what that means, the birthday girl.
Yeah. Well, Keisha has this like infamous birthday on Big Brother, where like her birthday was like this god awful episode where like everyone's like ripping into each other. It was like
I guess
one
I
of
don't
the first
remember.
seasons of the show. Yeah. And so Christmas, she just had Mrs. Claus, and she was like Wolverine. It's kind of predictable. I liked David's. His was David and Goliath, and it was like the Atom or Ant-Man, either one from like DC or Marvel, where it's like the guy gets bigger or shrinks. That was David.
Okay.
Yeah. And Enzo, of course, he kind of had like a Wolverine thing going. He was the Meow Meow.
Oh yeah, I like the
He's
meow
like
meow.
the Beast, right? He's just
Yeah,
like, yeah. And
he liked his own as well. It's kind of interesting to see their own reactions to their comics.
yeah. And I'm just trying to think if there's any other one that I liked a lot. I thought Tyler's was weird. His was like Abra Curl Dabra. I was like, I felt they were kind of stretching for that one.
Right, they made it about his curls. I wish I could remember what his was on his season because it was something about a lifeguard, maybe. I'm pretty sure it was better.
It's pretty awesome when you get to the point where you've been on Big Brother twice and now you have 2 of those covers.
Yeah, and it's fun to hear someone like Cody say, I want my own comic because he's never had it because he was long enough ago. I'm like, how old is Cody? He seems so young to me. He's got. Don't you think he's under 30? Was he on when he was like 21 or something?
He might. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't been bored enough to look up everyone's ages, so I'm not sure how old everyone is, but they still seem like a bunch of 20-year-olds, most of them.
So we could Google that shit, but was there much else interesting about that veto episode?
No, but it's just it's
Nicole,
just a fun competition. I didn't appreciate some of the snide remarks. Like I said, I didn't really appreciate Nicole, or I thought it was kind of funny, Nicole talking about Janelle, but also like Cody made a comment about Kaser. Like King Kaser, what's he the king of? Getting voted out third or something? Something kind of snotty like that, and just kind of catty.
Well, there's a lot of catty shit in this episode that we just watched too.
Yeah, I'm seeing some cattiness from these people who are left, and I'm like, why are you being catty? You've survived. You're there longer than everyone else. Shouldn't you be fucking happy?
Yeah, they're all like real snooty and like proud. Like, I got this far on this show where you sit around in the house for 3 months.
Well,
like,
they're egos.
Alpha. Yeah, it's getting. Yeah. We'll just jump to this episode for a second. Like Cody has this conversation with Memphis. They're playing pool. And then, like, Memphis goes in the house, and Cody says some real, like, condescending shit, right? Like, just to the camera. I can't remember what he says exactly, but I was like, whoa. Dude.
He just talks some trash about Memphis and how,
Oh, I remember now.
Okay.
He's like, dude, I'm like 10 years ahead of you or something like that. You're still stuck on season 1. I'm like, playing a totally different game. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little arrogant because Memphis has played a pretty good game. I haven't liked Memphis nearly as much as I've liked Cody, and Memphis also has talked some trash. In fact, he did this episode where he said, everybody take notes. This is how you play Big Brother, and it's kind of fun to see him get voted out at that point.
That is pretty
when
awesome.
you say something that arrogant, it's almost like so fun, to watch him go. But
to eat some crow.
Yeah, I just kind of wish everybody wasn't acting so a little bit conceited and to themselves, because it's hard to really root for someone who's acting that way.
Yeah, I haven't watched Big Brother as much as you, Shari, but it does seem like over the years it's gotten more like when you get to this point of the show, when you're getting close to the end, that people like kind of talk like they're in like a sporting event and they're all like real tough. They're like, oh yeah, you can't take it, and it's like, come on, like just chill out, get over yourself.
Yeah, you're not there yet. You haven't won yet, and even if you do, like, I don't know, try some humble pie.
Yeah. People are a bit more humble originally.
I will say that Cody talked about his girlfriend, which he's done very little talking about his personal life, and it was nice to see. Had no idea that his girlfriend had been diagnosed with cancer and that he stood by her. In fact, I wasn't even sure he was that into his relationship because I never heard him talk about it. Maybe he's a private person, I don't know, but he seemed like he really cared about his girlfriend, and that was nice to see.
Yeah, he talks about his girlfriend having cancer, and then Christmas brought up that her mother had cancer as well, and that she had gone through leukemia and not leukemia, chemotherapy and radiation. So, that's one of the good things about the show. The show used to do this a lot more, where they'd show the people's lives. Remember back in the day, they used to like go interview the people, like the hometown.
Yeah, their parents.
They don't do that anymore.
They might do it when it's like final 2 or 3 because there's so little action.
Right.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we're getting to that point, guys, where like the show gets pretty damn boring at this point. So that's why we got to talk about like broken windows and other random shit like that.
Well, Jury House is more interesting at this point, I think.
And that's a good segue, my wife, because the jury house for this episode was very good. Tyler joined the jury house and he explained his situation. And one point that got brought up was the conflict that he had with Bailey and Davon, where they didn't really trust him and believe him when he was offering to give up his big brother life, right?
For them.
Mm-hmm. And Tyler was able to show Bailey that he was Davon, that he was being completely legitimate and he was going to go home at that point.
Yeah, that was a really nice moment. There were some very like genuine nice moments in these episodes, so I appreciated that as well. I got a little teary.
Yeah, and then right after that, about after a commercial break, the next segment was all the people in the jury house watching videos of their family members at home, basically being like, we know that you didn't make it on the show, but we are still proud of you. And it was cool because for this time around, we got to see former castmates who are now significant others of current castmates, right?
Right.
Like Tyler, of course, has Angela, and Danny has that young guy that she has a baby with, and the baby is very cute.
Yeah.
I remember that young guy.
And she had a Dalmatian.
Did she have a Dalmatian?
I can't believe you didn't notice the Dalmatian. There was like the husband, the baby, and this beautiful Dalmatian. I guess I'm a dog person, but
yeah, but the baby's so cute. It had this like real high pitched voice. I'm sure
the baby was cute, but I think I looked at the Dalmatian more.
Okay, all right. Well,
I'm a dog person.
Yeah. Well, okay. So the Tyler thing is on our show. We kind of have joked about Tyler and his undying love for Angela.
Yeah.
His every thought is about Angela, and he even revealed that he's been with her every day since they were on Big Brother together up until when he came into this house.
This is the first time though where I didn't roll my eyes. I actually I got teary about that too. I don't know if I'm about to get my period or something, but like this whole thing made me cry a little bit.
Cool. Well, all right. I'm glad we're just very candid tonight, man. So welcome to the show. So anyway, we are gonna go into the
Come on, like like all the women have these things.
That's true. And now I'm matching my shirt too. So anyway, we are up to tonight's episode and the eviction, right? So we had Memphis and we had Christmas on the block, and we went back and forth like who are they going to vote for, and Enzo and Cody threw in this idea of like, well, what if we both voted the opposite, and then Nicole had to vote to split the tie, and that was interesting. But of course they didn't do it. They just voted out Memphis.
I think it's fair that they didn't do it. My rationale, I have no idea what their rationale for not doing it, is that let's let Nicole get some blood on her hands. If she has to break the tie and vote out Memphis, he'll be mad at her and not vote for her in jury. But my rationale is that he would never vote for Nicole anyway. Whoever Nicole went up against, Christmas, Cody, Enzo, Memphis would still vote for that other person, not Nicole. So she's really not getting blood on her hands,
Yeah.
Not with Memphis. So maybe they realize that they're really smart and into the game. So,
sure.
What's interesting to me is that Enzo's finally starting to think a little bit, or maybe he has been all along, but he's starting to show that he is thinking about his game a little bit apart from Cody.
Cody.
Thinking about even like going a separate way in the vote from Cody.
Yeah.
But then he kind of ruined it by going to Cody and telling him he's thinking about doing that. And,
yeah.
And then you're like, oh, it's still really Cody's decision, not Enzo's. So I don't see how Enzo can win this game. I saw a poll on Twitter today that said, okay, this is an interesting, it was talking about the OTEV curse, which is that any player who has won the OTEV competition does not go on to win the game. Like it's never happened.
Really?
Yeah, and Cody won the OTEV competition this season. Yeah, so, and then the poll was, do you think that Cody will win the game?
Will he break the curse?
Yeah, will he break the curse? And it was kind of close, but it was 60-40 that people said no, he will not win the game.
Oh.
And I thought that was
Twitter.
I thought that was crazy. I know there's a curse, but I don't see how Cody's not going to win this.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know. I love when you bring stuff like that to our little show.
I didn't know. Well, I didn't know that was a thing. The OTEV curse.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
But I'm sure if we go back and look, I'm sure it's true. There was another curse too that said that. Yeah, that's. Am I going on too much?
No, you're. Come on, you're actually making this interesting. Let's do it. Let's go.
There's another curse that said if you win the second HOH of the season, you will not win the game.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Cody won the first, right?
Right.
Yeah.
In fact, the person who wins first frequently wins the game.
I totally could see that.
Mickey won last year, the first.
Yeah. I could totally. I think
I don't think Casey won.
My first season I started, the guy that was in the brigade that won, he was on Survivor too. Hayden. He won. He won HOH.
Yeah, I don't think it's like a given. If you win the first,
Right.
you're going to win the game. But I think that happens kind of a lot. So maybe they set the tone or something.
Yeah.
But the person who wins second never has won.
First person to win, last person to leave the house. That's interesting. Well, the last person that leaves the house is like actually the second person, right? Because the winner walks out and the runner-up's behind them.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, come on, that's an interesting point. That's something someone's gonna say. Like, yeah, good point, Pete. Like in the comments, right?
Help him out.
I think that was a good point. That was an interesting point, Pete.
Pete has no hat on tonight.
Yeah, I think it's looking good tonight.
It does look good. It reminds me a little of Memphis's hairdo.
What the fuck, man? Okay.
I think I've been watching too much Big Brother.
I've been dying to because Memphis does the same face every time when he's in the diary room, right? I've been dying to do an impersonation of it. I'm probably gonna mess it up. Can I try it though?
Sure.
Real quick, he's always he always does like this, I think that I'm gonna be the first one to be staged, right? He always does like that. He moves his head like that, like a little swish. Yeah.
Okay.
I created the wise guys, and I think that we're gonna be staying, so I'm fine.
Now do an Enzo impersonation.
Okay. Me and Mulan, that's Tyler's cow. She's been giving me some notes on how I'm gonna just hang out with Cody, and then we might be getting Nicole out of the house next week, bro.
Mm-hmm.
All right, she's not even gonna be seeing it, bro.
I wonder why Tyler left his cow behind.
I don't think you can bring shit out because of COVID. You just put on your little mask.
Yeah, I guess she's replaceable. Sorry, Mulan.
Yeah, Mulan. Yeah. So Mulan's a good note to end on, but I just want to say thank you so much for watching. We're going to keep doing this shit until October 28th when the finale. So every Monday night and every Thursday night we'll have a new episode. So if you haven't subscribed to the Anchorpete channel, you can get Big Brother content until then. Shari and I also review movies, like up-and-coming movies.
We're doing scary movies for Halloween.
We are. We're going to review, this weekend, we're going to review the movie Nocturne, right? That's part of this,
Welcome to the Bloomhouse,
yeah.
Amazon Prime series.
Come join us, okay? So subscribe and come join us. Until then, you guys have a good night.